The largest region in Portugal, Alentejo covers a vast swathe of territory that encompasses everything from rugged, rocky mountains and wheat-field-filled plains to beautiful beaches and desolate Atlantic Ocean coastline. As it was conquered and ruled by everyone from the Visigoths and Romans to the Arabs and Knights Templar, there is a wealth of incredible historical and cultural sites for you to enjoy, with many amazing hilltop castles and fortifications to discover. In this video, we explore the best places to visit in Alentejo. We've collected a list of the top places to visit in Alentejo, so make sure to include them in your list if you're a visitor. At first in the list, number 1, Evora. Full of impressive historical sites and cultural landmarks, Evora, the capital of the region, is one of the most popular places to visit in Alentejo. Boasting a remarkably well-preserved old town center surrounded by medieval walls, it is a beautiful city to get lost in. Its many narrow alleys and cobbled streets are lined with architectural wonders such as the Roman Temple, the Fountain of Portos de Moura, and a number of elegant palaces, each more impressive than the last. One of the most spectacular sights in town is undoubtedly the Gothic Cathedral of Evora, which was built all the way back in the 1200s. Number 2, Elvas. Lying a short distance away from the border with Spain, Elvas is a fascinating place to visit. Much of the town's identity, history, and heritage has been influenced by its proximity to its neighbor. Due to fears of being attacked and conquered, a series of fortifications and walls were constructed around the frontier town, alongside a stout castle and 2 other fortresses. What were once the first lines of defense now make for some fantastic sightseeing. The town's labyrinth of narrow streets are home to some wonderful old buildings and museums, with great shops, restaurants, and bars also on offer. Number 3, Marvao. Set atop a craggy hilltop in the Serra de São Mamede mountain range, the tiny village of Marvao is blessed with beautiful views out over the surrounding countryside, and the settlement itself is equally bewitching. Its narrow alleys snake their way among the whitewashed buildings of the village, and a fantastic castle takes pride of place at the highest point of the rocky outcrop. An increasingly popular destination, Marvao's recent revival as a tourist town is just the latest development in its history. Number 4, Vila Nova de Milfontes. Lying at the mouth of the Moura River, Vila Nova de Milfontes is set in an absolutely gorgeous location, with the spectacular Southwest Alentejo and Vicentine Coast Natural Park surrounding it. Due to the natural riches on show, many people go horseback riding and hiking along the many trails that snake their way along the coast. The town's breathtakingly beautiful beaches attract hordes of sun worshippers and surfers during the summer months. The rest of the year, Vila Nova de Milfontes has a lovely laid-back feel to it, with some great restaurants and bars found in its center, and a quaint harbor full of fishing boats also on show. Number 5, Estremoz. Along with Vila Vicosa and Borba, Estremoz is one of Alentejo's 3 marble towns. Wherever you go in town, you will come across buildings and monuments made out of marble, with pavements, staircases, and plaza pavings also made out of the polished stone. As it has been inhabited since Roman times, there is a wealth of fascinating historical sites for you to explore, with lots of beautiful churches, chapels, and convents on show. Normally a peaceful and laid-back place to visit, Estremoz comes alive on Saturdays when the local market takes place. Here, you can buy some great souvenirs, local produce, and artisanal handicrafts. Number 6, Cromeleque dos Almendres. Remarkable to behold, the megalithic complex of Cromeleque dos Almendres is magical to visit. The peace and quiet that surrounds the circle of menhirs gives it a timeless feel. The largest such site in the Iberian Peninsula, the Almendres Cromeleque, as it is known in English, are believed to date to between 6000–4000 BC. Rising from the parched earth with olive trees lying around the outskirts of the circle, the menhirs make for some fantastic photos. On some of the distinctive rocks, faint etchings and engravings can still be seen. Number 7, Beja. With lots of interesting and impressive historic sites for you to enjoy, Beja, the main town in Baixo Alentejo, is a delight to explore. Its magnificent hilltop castle is the undoubted highlight of what's on show. Surrounded by a sea of shimmering wheat fields, the town has some fascinating museums for you to delve into, such as the Visigothic Museum and Museum of Eleanor. There is also plenty of magnificent architecture and old buildings enclosed within its city walls. While wandering around Beja, you'll come across some charming plazas lined with great restaurants and shops. On Saturdays, its streets are a hive of activity as the weekly market brings both locals and tourists alike to the town. Number 8. Monsaraz. Boasting an imposing castle, as well as wonderful views out over Alqueva Dam and the surrounding countryside, the hilltop village of Monsaraz is certainly very picturesque. While there is not all that much to see or do in town, its stunning setting and charming look and feel more than make up for it. Whitewashed houses contrast delightfully against the greens and browns of the surrounding countryside. As it is located just across from the Spanish border, Monsaraz has long occupied a strategic position. As such, everyone from the Romans and Visigoths to the Arabs, Jews, and Knights Templar have ruled over the town at some stage. Number 9. Moura. Lying at the heart of a farming area, the laid-back, fortified town of Moura is home to many historical sites and cultural landmarks, with a crumbling castle for you to explore alongside beautiful old churches and buildings. With lots of cozy cafes, bars, and restaurants tucked away among its small streets, it is a charming place to spend some time, and its well-preserved Moorish quarter is particularly delightful to meander around aimlessly. While in town, it is well worth taking a trip to see the nearby Alqueva Dam. It is very impressive to see the vast expanse of water that it keeps at bay. Remarkably, it is one of the largest dams in Western Europe. At last in the list, number 10, Vila Vicosa. One of Alentejo's 3 marble towns, Vila Vicosa sparkles in the sun. Its gorgeous historic center is full of marble-clad buildings, statues, and monuments. As it dates all the way back to Roman times, there is a lot of history to dive into in the town. One of its main attractions is the delightful Praça da República, which is bordered by a stunning palace, a charming castle, and leafy trees and gardens. With several fine churches, monasteries, and mansions sprinkled around town, as well as a fascinating archaeology museum, Vila Vicosa is definitely worth visiting if you have the time. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite places to visit in Alentejo? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.